Hello, and welcome to episode 14 of By Night. We have escaped the unlucky number 13, so hopefully tonight will go a little bit better than last week. But you join me in South Woodford. Well, it's much later than I normally start. I normally try and get on the first run of the first route of the night. Why is this car flashing at me? So yeah, I'm in South Woodford, and we're going to start on the N55, which runs up from Woodford Wells down to Oxford Circus. We're going to be getting off somewhere in central London, going down to Trafalgar Square. We'll be getting the N97 down to Hammersmith, and the N11 over to Ealing Broadway. And then if we have time, we'll be getting the N65 down to Brentford. That's the plan for the night. What is the time now? The time now is midnight 43. So the next N55 is at about 1. So it's about 15 minutes here. We just got off the W12, which is very nice. W12 is a brilliant route, especially now that it's got the Enviro 100s. But anywho, N55 night bus. It's Boris bus, because of course it is. And you now join me on Stagecoach London's LT316 on the N55, which runs between Woodford Wells and Oxford Circus via Wanstead, Whipps Cross and Hackney Central. Obviously we have an N prefix, so we have quite significant changes compared to the daytime 55, which runs from Oxford Circus Station out to Walthamstow Central via Clerkenwell, Shoreditch, Hackney Central and Baker's Arms. So yeah, these are operated by Stagecoach London with the right new route master, and an interesting thing about the 55 is that it was actually a direct replacement for the 55 tram back in the day, which is why the route to this day runs so frequently. I just clicked off of it. How frequently does the daytime 55 run? During the day, it runs every 8 to 9 minutes. So, I mean, for a London service, that is fairly frequent. Most of our buses run every 10 to 12. So, the N55 doesn't really take on that higher frequency than normal that it has during the day. It just runs every half hour, like a standard night bus. And it actually finishes quite early, with last departures before 5 AM from both ends. We're on it tonight from South Woodford down to Tottenham Court Road, but the route actually starts all the way out in Woodford Wells, which is, I assume really far out, but you know, that's a given. It's a night bus. Yeah, it's Woodford Wells is like between Woodford, Chingford and Buckhurst Hill. It's in that sort of triangle. So it is really far out. It's definitely on the edge of London, edging Essex, I would say. So, yeah. It's a long route, it's a good route, it's a very good connection, and it's another night bus to Leytonstone that I didn't realise actually went into Leytonstone. But it does, sort of. And now we have made it to Tottenham Court Road off of the N55, which is just over there. That was... Oh, I completely forgot to record a bit on the bus. Oh, well done me. Post-me will have to work with what little B-roll I took. Good luck, Post-me. Oh, it's already green. Woo! So yeah, that was LT314 on the N55. That's going to continue over to Oxford Circus. And now I'm going to go down to Trafalgar Square on the N29, which we did in episode 2, I think, where we did the most frequent night buses and completely forgot about the N15. Well done me. So yes, N29 down to Trafalgar Square, and then onto the N97 over to Hammersmith. So I've now arrived at Trafalgar Square, where I've finally made it to my regular filming spot once again. It's not blocked by event works, which is nice because I'm being lit like it's daytime by some massive floodlights that exist to illuminate Nelson's Column, which is up there. Very nice. So from here we're going to get the N97 down to Hammersmith, which is one of those night routes that doesn't have a daytime counterpart. Like the N5, the N20, but this time I don't think it's for replicating tube line purposes. This must be like an old route or something, because the 97 nowadays is way out east, runs from Stratford to Chingford. But the N97 is Trafalgar Square to Hammersmith the long way round. And you now join me on the N97, which runs from Trafalgar Square out to Hammersmith via Kensington and Fulham. This route, quite weirdly, again, there are some routes that do this overnight, this route doesn't have a daytime counterpart. Part of me wonders, because of the number, maybe the 97 used to run this way, but now that runs out between Stratford and Chingford. But anywho, it's a night bus without a daytime counterpart, which I always find kind of fun. And this, we are on WHV 123 in the go-ahead fleet. This is part of the London General operation. And I think it goes without saying, B5LH Gemini 3, it is the bus of London at this point.
Piccadilly Circus in like years. Like, I can't remember if the last time I saw it. Yeah, because like, yeah, the 205 is, or was, perfect for just getting between the London termini without using the tube.
Yeah, and considering that the Circle line is not accessible.
Not as accessible as it should be.
Well, it isn't. I don't think any of its platforms have lifts.
Some pancakes.
Okay, except St Pancras and the Bishop's Road side of Paddington.
Yeah.
But aside from that,
no.
It's like, I would have been fine with the changes if it was like, okay, the 205 will now go to Paddington via Marble Arch.
But no.
No.
I said it because, like, I think the last time I used it was Marylebone to somewhere in Shoreditch, which was Bagels.
Yeah.
And it's now a journey that is impossible without. Yeah, it's just weird that. Well, I can understand it is like a city of London size does need a night network like this, but it's weird that like London is the only place that actually takes it seriously. Like
Edinburgh.
Well, Edinburgh as well, but I haven't been to Edinburgh to pass judgment on Edinburgh. I've done Glasgow, but I've never done a night in the city centre. but it still saves half an hour TARDIS on going on the X20 or on the X20. And with the Orange Pass, it also gets me on the main line from Chelmsford to Ipswich. So if I wanted to, I could go to Ipswich for free, and I can go to Ipswich for free. I can go to Peterborough, assuming I head via the airport first, and again Norwich via the airport to the approach to Liverpool Street, I think,
which starts at Maryland.
Yeah. So I'm used to the run into London being fairly quick, because for my 51 miles from Colchester to Liverpool Street.
I have now made it to Hammersmith. There is VWH, no, not VWH, that's the Metro Line type code, WHV 123 on the N97 that we just got off. Coming around the other side, you can probably hear it just about, is Metro Line VMH Evo SETI on the N266, which we covered back in episode 1. You might be able to see it back there. There it is. We did that route in episode 1. This is the southern end of the N266, and it used to be the southern end of the 266 all day, but not anymore. But from here, we're going to be getting the N11 across to Ealing Broadway, where we will be able to finish off on the N65, WHV 123, announcing its departure there with the classic Volvo squeaky handbrake. So, I will see you on the N11. So, you now join me on Go Ahead London and London General's EH307, one of their very nice Enviro 400 hybrid MMCs on the N11. Now, we have that N prefix, so the regular daytime 11 runs from Waterloo to Fulham Broadway via Westminster and Victoria. The N11 first has a different start point at Trafalgar Square, which makes it more useful as an overnight connection, and then picks up the 11 around Westminster, following the 11 down to Fulham Broadway, and then extends quite substantially through Walham Green, Hammersmith, Turnham Green, Acton, Northfields, and terminating at Ealing Broadway. We got on obviously at Hammersmith, so we're entirely on the new, or the new bit, the overnight bit. This route has quite impressive timings on it, I have to say. This is a 7.5 mile section of the route that we're doing tonight out to Ealing Broadway, and it is scheduled to take 29 minutes, which, given the fact that London generally is a 20 mile an hour zone, that's quite impressive. So let's get to the B-roll.
where the event didn't happen and I wasn't a bus nerd, I looked at getting into planning for that. Doing that, spending one more year up there banging my head against a brick wall, I just gave up with university, despite only having technically completed about a year's worth of it. But, oh well.
This bus terminates here. Please take your belongings with you.
No.
Ealing Broadway Station, Haven Green.
Tuck that back into there quickly.
And so I've now made it to Ealing Broadway, out in West London. This is one of the ends of the Central Line, and it is also a stop on the Elizabeth Line. Prior to the Elizabeth Line, it was served by Great Western Railway, and I think it might still be served by GWR for certain services. Overnight, we have the N11, we have the N65, N207, and over there is the 297, but that is for later in the series. Tonight, we're going to be getting on the N65 down to Brentford. So, I will see you on board the N65. We are now on First Bus London's 34783, formerly RATP London's VH45185, on the N65, which is actually two routes in one. The daytime 65 runs from Ealing Broadway down to Kingston. This one is especially rattly, via Kew Bridge and Richmond. And then the N65 continues from Kingston along the route of the 71 down to Chessington World of Adventures, which means this is probably one of very few theme parks in the UK to have a 24-hour bus connection. Which, novel. I like it. I wonder if Chessington have ever sort of used that to their advantage for like overnight events or something. Something interesting to think about if they haven't, maybe. But we're just coming out through Ealing Broadway now. We're only on this as far as Brentford, because we have plans later this morning, my friend and I, that I've been with all night. So, yeah, this runs only 11 minutes, which I think is one of the shortest runs we've had on the series yet. So yeah, let's get to the B-roll very quickly. This bus is very bouncy, and yeah, get to the B-roll quickly because we don't have long.
Jake,
You don't have Ow.
suppose it's why, like, everyone in the 50s and 60s thought we'd all have flying cars. Because flying is just so intuitive.
Yeah.
That you can do... Well, unless you're flying, like, aerobatics.
So I kept the controls and flew us around Swindon. The way back was much easier.
Yeah.
Straight line, radio nav. And our radial was 090, just straight east. And as my bus disappears off into the distance, I have arrived at the London Museum of Water and Steam in Brentford, where we end our journey tonight. It is over there. You can't really see it because it's dark, but there's some gubbins. We love gubbins. But let's go over here so I can be lit by these billboards. Yes. Shorter episode than normal. Isn't this nice? For once I get an episode done in reasonable time. Maybe I need to do these 4 route specials more often. My friend has taken a picture of me. Isn't that fun? So I heard that. Yes. The sun is just starting to come up, but it's not as high as it normally is by the time we're finishing one of these. Indeed, sometimes I finish these in broad daylight. Such is summer. But we are in Brentford, and that is where we finish things off. So, recap. We started the night on the... Let's get back into the light. We started the night on the N55 up in south of Woodford, and got that down to Tottenham Court Road, that's it. I knew it wasn't Trafalgar Square, because I had to then get the N279 over to Trafalgar Square from Tottenham Court Road. From Trafalgar Square, we got the N97 across to Hammersmith, and the N11 over to Ealing Broadway. And then from Ealing Broadway, it was straight onto the N65 down here, onto the beautiful Brentford. Brentford's really nice, actually. Like, just if you want to see like nice parts of London, come to Brentford. It's one of those places that it's nice, but it's not like obnoxiously posh. It's really, really nice. But yes, so that will be it from this week's episode of By Night. So I think all that's left to say is I will see you on Monday from City Bus Manager on the South Coast, on Thursday from City Bus Manager once again up in West Scotland, and next week from By Night. Bye bye.